Yo, real quick, make sure you guys drop a like right now in the next 5 seconds if you wish you could have Dark Matter Camo unlocked in your account instantly. All right, let's go. What's happening? How's everybody doing today? My name is Chuck, and welcome back to a brand new video. If you guys here today is I want to be teaching you guys how to be able to unlock Dark Matter Camo here fast and efficiently here in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Of course, to be able to unlock Dark Matter, you have to be able to get gold on everything, then get diamonds on everything. Once you have diamonds on everything, then the glorious Dark Matter Camo is going to be unlocked for you. But actually getting there is, it's quite the journey, especially in this game, because leveling up does take, quite a bit of time. And, a lot of the camo challenges are actually indeed tied to your weapon level. Unlike Modern Warfare, where you could be able to fully unlock, the guns, camos, everything like that, without actually even having to reach max level on the weapon. It actually takes significantly longer Black Ops Cold War. That's why I want to give you guys my top tips on how you guys can be able to do this fast and make that process just shorten up, even a little bit. But a friendly reminder, if you guys haven't already, slap a like on this video, subscribe as notifications turn on. Make sure you guys comment down in the comment section below, and yeah, let's jump into this. So obviously, like I was saying here in the intro of the video, that you guys know that the weapon levels are significantly, tied to how fast you can actually unlock Dark Matter Camo. And something that I've been kind of going back and forth with a bunch with my YouTube friends is we've been trying to figure out how many kills does it really take to get your gun to that max level or get up to like level 50 or something like that, because there are challenges that actually are tied to getting to weapon level 50. And if you don't get to weapon level 50, you're not going to be able to get those challenges complete or really even do those challenges, which is actually quite unfortunate. And I really hate that they happen to do that, because a lot of these challenges, when you look at them in theory, just really aren't going to be all that bad, to be honest with you. But the fact is that they're tied to these certain levels, and actually going up through the levels does take a lot of time. So yeah, let's give you guys some tips. So basically, the first thing here that I've actually happened to come across when actually going with all my YouTube friends and trying to figure out how many kills it happens to take is that actually is going to take roughly around 1,000 kills with that weapon in order for you to be able to get it to a high enough level to the point where you can actually even complete all those different challenges. And I should say this, that you should make sure that you're doing all those challenges on the way up. That way, your course are going to be leveling up faster, just kind of more or less in general, but also so that like by the time you actually get to like level 50, where you can actually do some of your last camo challenges, you're not going to be like saving all these different things that you really just haven't bothered to do. Or really, honestly, you should just be able to get these as you play, because they really aren't all that bad. So for instance, if we take a look at some of the assault rifle stuff here, like we have, the spray, the stripes, the classic, the geometric, the flora, we have the science, and then the psychedelic. And a lot of these things really just take, there's 300 elimination, there's 100 headshots, 5 kills without dying 20 times, each with the weapon equipped. There's a geometric, which is 50 long shots, the flora, 75 enemies stunned, blinded, or detected by your score streaks, equipment or field upgrades. There's the science, shoot and kill 50 enemies taking cover from you in multiplayer, and the psychedelic, 2 or more enemies rapidly, in 25 times. You gotta kill 2 people. I mean, it's really honestly very simple stuff that you guys should just be able to get, but I'm gonna give you guys a lot of tips here on how to actually be able to complete those very fast, and this is what's really helped me out. So the first things first is that one of the ones that's kind of a little bit less natural to be able to do is I'd recommend playing hardcore, and only specifically to get some of them long shots done. And that's just because if you guys think about this right now, is that compared to Modern Warfare, the past, Call of Duty, most previous Call of Duty, is that getting your long shots can be a tad bit more difficult just because the longer time to kill, aka that, Modern Warfare, you could kill somebody very quickly, and honestly getting a long shot like that was pretty simple. But actually in this game, there's no mounting, you can't really do any of that stuff, you can't mount up, so your gun has no recoil, and also the time to kill is indeed longer. The guns do have a little bit more recoil, so getting some of those long shots can be a little bit more difficult, especially if you aren't a super strong player. So I'd recommend playing hardcore, so you can basically lessen down the amount of health that somebody has to a much more minimal amount. That way that when you're shooting at them, you can actually be able to take them out much quicker. And I mean, obviously it will result in the same thing if somebody kills you a lot quicker, but honestly only getting 50 long shots, it really shouldn't have you being in hardcore too long. But I'd recommend going into maps, sitting down long lines of sight, and of course then just playing some hardcore. I mean, it's just gonna make your life that much more simple. You're gonna be able to get those long shots done a lot faster, and ultimately you're gonna get less hit markers, which can be the bane of your existence, especially if you're only a few kills off those long shots. Go jump into some hardcore, go post up. And I mean, I'm not a fan of camping, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. This next tip is going to be absolutely massive, and that is just having to do with not only just playing hardcore, jumping into that for your long shots, but this also works very well for essentially every single other challenge that you can possibly do. Even just looking at something like the ARs, the SMGs, your tactical rifles, all that stuff. A lot of these challenges are kind of more dedicated to jumping into a game mode like Combat Arms Mosh Pit or 12v12. And the reason why a lot of it's kind of dedicated to that is because when you think about it, you're going to be able to get the most amount of kills in that mode. So let's say we're going back to our assault rifle stuff here, 300 eliminations. That's a very popular category of guns. So 300 eliminations, that's very simple to be able to do in 12v12. You have a much higher chance of being able to get you more eliminations per match, just because there's more people. The games are going to last a little bit longer. You know, your 100 headshots, there's obviously more people to be able to go at, more people to pick off objectives, head glitches, so on and so forth, people behind cover. That's another challenge you have to be able to get. So there's just ultimately more chances no matter which, you know, thing you go at. And, you know, even getting 5 kills without dying, you know, 20 times, that's going to be even easier in 12v12, at least in my opinion, just because, I mean, you're facing less people, and that means, you know, less people are going to be hunting you back down. And sometimes those people that are trying to get those revenge kills can definitely kill you off that 5 kill streak, which can definitely be a bit of a bummer. But, you know, I think it's actually super simple to be able to hop in some 12v12, as that's going to be fantastic. And of course, then your floor, one of the big ones is that you actually be able to get 75 enemies that are stunned or, you know, taken out by like your field equipment, you know, score streak, whatever it may be. Is that, you know, what I end up doing is I run the field mic, and I play a lot of cartel, and I end up putting the field mic over by the bunkers. And generally speaking, because a lot of people run through the bunkers, or really honestly get bullets down in any sort of high traffic area, as long as you kill people within the radius of your field upgrade, and that's just going to be very easy for you to be able to get that challenge done, especially with that gun, because people are going to be constantly on your field upgrade. That means you're going to know where they are. You're going to be streaking. That's going to allow you to get those 5 kills, you know, without dying done faster. It's basically like a 2-for-1, at least in that regard. So I'd recommend actually, you know, obviously running that field upgrade with the field mic and being able to just throw that down on popular spots and basically kind of hold down that position. You can really get a lot of these challenges done all at once, but it's just a matter, of course, having weapon leveled up enough to be able to actually unlock them and do them. And something that's actually even more beneficial that I had just even thought of is that if you're trying to use the field mic or something like that, and you want to be able to, obviously you're like, I don't get my field mic enough, you can actually go into your second tier perk slot, and you can throw in the perk called Gearhead, which will then give you 2 of your field upgrades, or allow you to be able to have at least 2 at a time. So that means that you can potentially have 2 field mics down at a time. That leaves you with 2 different areas to be able to get your challenges completed when people actually run into the radius of that field mic, which is amazing. It really helps out, especially if you're playing, you know, bigger game modes like, you know, Assault, you know, playing Domination or something like that. I mean, there's going to be a lot of instances where people are going to run into that field mic area, and you're just going to be able to take them out. It's just going to be incredible, and that's how you're going to be able to get some of these challenges done super fast. I mean, so ultimately speaking, that when you actually look at the challenges, I would just recommend jumping into 12v12, and you're just going to have a lot faster, a lot smoother, a lot better of a time trying to get your stuff done in those type of modes, as opposed to jumping into something like 6v6. It becomes significantly harder and takes you longer when you don't play larger scale game modes, and that's just kind of unfortunately the way they've actually structured a lot of the stuff this year, is that you kind of more or less have to be in some of this stuff. I mean, I like it that you don't have to, you know, take the, you know, the attachments off your gun. You don't have to mount up. You do any of that BS, because that's what stopped me from getting a lot of gold guns in Modern Warfare, because frankly, I don't want to take, you know, the attachments off my gun. I don't want to mount up on some stupid stuff, because like there's no point for me to mount up. I don't really care. I'm not using mounting. So I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there that didn't mount up really, unless you were trying to get any of your kills. And if you mounted up, well, frankly, I just think you're kind of a bot if you actually were legitimately mounting up, you know, purposefully, you know, pretty often. It's useful in some situations, but very minimal situations. But you guys get what I'm saying. I mean, it's very beneficial just to hop in, you know, 12v12 and to do all that stuff. It just really makes sense. And one of my last tips here for you guys is actually just about using your personalized setup, using the setup that's going to be the best for you, because you don't inherently have to take off your attachments and stuff to be able to get these challenges done, which makes it very good. You should be able to run the setup that's going to work the best for you. If you find something, stick true to that, because ultimately when you stick true to that setup, or even if you are having a tough time finding a setup, I should say that, you know, if you got your setup, that's fantastic, good for you. But if you have a tough time finding a setup, I make plenty of class setup videos here around on the channel to ultimately give you guys the best and fastest killing setups that you guys can use, so you can maximize, you know, your amount of kills you get per game. Your kill death ratio is going to go up. Your win loss ratio is going to go up, because you're probably going to be leading the team. You're going to go lead them to victory. It's just all in all a very good thing, and you can really change the tide of the game depending on, you know, how well you do, and especially when you start calling in some of those higher streaks. I mean, if you're getting camo challenges done, you're calling in streaks, and you're having fun, I mean, that's like 3-for-1 right there. That's incredible. It's just overall going to be really good. So if you guys have your setup, that's great, but if you don't happen to have one, go through onto my channel, check around. I'm going to be uploading plenty of class videos here to help you guys out to be able to level up your guns, find the best setup for them possible. That way you can get the most amount of kills possible, get them challenges done, and ultimately be able to get gold, diamond, and then dark matter camo. That's really all I got for you guys here in today's video. Thank you so much for coming through. I just wanted to lay out some quick little tips and stuff and kind of break down dark matter, gold, and diamond camo. Thank you. I appreciate you. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you slap a like on it, subscribe, those notifications turn on. Make sure you guys comment down in the comment section below. Go check out these other videos here up on screen, as I put a lot of time and effort into it. With that being said, I'll see you guys back here again tomorrow with a brand new video. Just remember, don't be Randy, and I'm out. Peace.